Hello and welcome to the June episode of NCIA Today, brought to you by NCIA Connect. I'm your host, Bethany Moore, NCIA's Communications Manager. Throughout the month of June, NCIA kept things rolling for you with our new Industry Essentials webinar series, where we covered topics ranging from ways to protect your cannabis brand and retail success strategies, to tips on what to do if your dispensary has been impacted by theft or damage. We also held a special Policy Council conversation webinar titled Just Say No, Keep the DEA Out of Cannabis Research, where we learned more about NCIA's efforts to expand medical cannabis research in the U.S. We were pleased to be joined by some of our champions in Congress, like Reps Lou Correa from California and Earl Blumenauer from Oregon. If you missed the live webinars, NCIA members have exclusive access to the recordings for 30 days before we make them available to the public. We'll tell you more about an exciting member benefit that you'll use to access these recordings later in the show. Log on to our website now to register for any of our upcoming webinars. Also in the month of June, we took our exclusive educational event series, the Cannabis Caucuses, and brought them into the digital world in our new Cannabis Caucus Cyber series, bringing you everything you loved about the in-person regional events, including the live music and state and federal policy updates into a fun online setting. As I'm sure you can imagine, we look forward to being able to safely host these events in person again across the country. So thanks for hanging in there with us during these times of staying home and social distancing. Speaking of using technology to our benefit and yours, as I mentioned earlier, is the rollout of a brand new NCIA member benefit that we'll hear more about shortly. But first, let's check in with NCIA's Business Development Manager, Tahir Johnson, to learn more about what's happening with our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Hey Tahir, how's it going in Washington, D.C. with the rest of our government relations team?
Hey Bethany, things are well here in D.C. You know, on one hand, things are absolutely much quieter on the Hill and all around the district due to social distancing. But on the other, voices here in our city and all around the country are uniting louder than ever, calling for the dismantling of systemic racism. And we recognize the need for change in the cannabis industry.
Absolutely, Tahir. So what's next?
Well, next up for NCIA, I'm actually going to be taking the lead of our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, in addition to continuing in my current role as business development manager.
Well, that's great news to hear. What does the committee have planned for this year?
Well, the first of many initiatives that I'm excited to announce is that all social equity applicants and licensees around the country will be eligible for a complimentary annual NCIA membership under our Social Equity Membership Scholarship Program. In the near future, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is going to be hosting a webinar on July 15th around Illinois' social equity program. We have a number of experts that have experience there in the Illinois market that are going to be providing their insight. And I think it's going to be a great webinar that you won't want to miss. And while I'm talking about committees, if you are interested in coming on board and getting involved with the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee or any of our other committees, it's actually our open application period until July 1st. And you can reach out for more information around that.
Awesome. Thank you for that update, Tahir. And for those interested in the Social Equity Membership Scholarship Program, tune into that webinar on July 15th and reach out to Tahir for more information. Thanks again for joining me today, Tahir.
Thanks, Bethany. Have a good day.
You too. Now let's check in with Kaliko to hear more about that exciting new NCIA member benefit I mentioned earlier.
Aloha, Bethany. It's so good to see you. Our team has been hard at work in the background on this project, and we're so excited to roll out this really awesome new member benefit, which we think will revolutionize the way our members stay connected with each other. When I first started out at NCIA, I was on the business development team, and one of the most asked questions that we would get is, can I get a list of your members so that I can reach out to prospects? Well, now you can reach out directly to those prospects through this new platform. Logging into NCIA Connect will allow you to participate in community discussions that are relevant to your business, private message other NCIA members, get access to exclusive members-only content, plus engage and collaborate with your industry colleagues to solve problems and share best practices.
That's really great news, Kaliko. What are the next steps for NCIA members who want to jump right in and check it out?
Sure, just make sure you log in and start participating. Everyone who posts a comment in any of the communities on NCIA Connect between now and July 3rd will be entered for a $2,500 drawing for our digital marketing sponsorships with NCIA. So you don't want to wait. We'll be launching this on June 29th, and all members will be able to easily log in using their existing NCIA credentials. If you're not sure of your login, just go to my.thecannabisindustry.org to reset your password, get logged in, and update your profile information. You can also create an account and link yourself to your company there as well. If you have any questions or need help logging in, please go to please email help@thecannabisindustry.org, and one of our awesome teammates will get back to you as soon as they can.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kaliko.
Thank you, Bethany.
Thanks for this news, Kaliko. That's definitely a great tool that our members are going to love. Now let's hear from our CEO and co-founder, Aaron Smith. It's good to have you back in the Denver office.
It's great to be here, Bethany. And most importantly, I am so grateful for the hundreds of businesses that have invested in our work by becoming members of NCIA. 10 years ago, we set out with the idea that the cannabis industry should be represented on Capitol Hill and to fight for fairness for our industry throughout the country. Today, our members have made it possible for us to be a true powerhouse of advocacy, community, and education within the cannabis industry. But times are difficult, and I'm asking you, if you are not yet a member of NCIA and you're watching this and you're part of the cannabis industry, please join today so that we can redouble our efforts and finally end cannabis prohibition in this country. If you're not ready to be a member, consider supporting us in many other ways through a donation or many other sponsorship opportunities available to you. Again, thank you all so very much. I look forward to serving you in the year ahead. Back to you, Bethany.
Before we wrap up this episode, here's a few reminders. NCIA's new webinar series, Industry Essentials, provides you valuable new learning opportunities every week, so be sure to register in advance to secure your spot. If you're looking to elevate your experience alongside your industry peers, NCIA is accepting applications for committees for just a couple more days through Wednesday, July 1st, so get your applications in now for the 2020 to 21 year committee term. And while we're continuing to monitor and assess the COVID-19 pandemic and resulting shutdowns and restrictions surrounding public events, we're still rolling out tons of educational webinars, podcast interviews, and blog articles to keep us all connected and inspired, so keep our website bookmarked as we add new resources every day. And if you're not following our social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, check out all the great content and inspiration we're sharing. If you're a member of NCIA, we encourage you to check out your new member benefit, NCIA Connect, and dive right into the conversation today. We'll see you there and again next month.